So today I wanted to talk a little bit about, and I've been talking to a lot of gym owners recently, both in our program and then mostly not in our program, is what I'm referencing in this video, and it is and I remember I had a mentor give me this talk or explain things to me in the way that I'm going to attempt to explain them to you guys today. And it revolves around the mindset of a high performer and the mindset that's required to be successful in the game that we are playing, right? In the arena that we have entered into. Okay. And so owning a business is not easy. Like you knew that coming in, right? Or you should have. Being an entrepreneur is hard. I think that that just goes without saying, right? And so if you're in a place right now, and I'm making this video now because for gym owners, typically the third quarter of the year is the hardest of the year, right? It is July, August, September. Yes. And it is when people are usually going on hold, putting their membership on hold, um, enjoying the outside, enjoying the summer. And that affects us negatively. Like when we lose revenue, obviously our expenses don't go down proportionally. And so we have less money, right? And that makes us stressed and that makes things hard and that makes people overwhelmed and it affects your mindset, right? And so um, I think that it's really important to remember that the nature of the game that we are playing is hard, right? And this is what hard feels like, right? When you don't want to keep going, when you want to quit, when you are tired of finding the next solution to your problem, when you don't want to learn anymore, right? When you don't want to wake up early and just get after it, right? Those are all the reasons why people quit, right? And so you have two choices. You can either confront that and lean in or just get it over with and quit, right? Because indecision, not doing anything at all, it'll make that decision for you, right? You will not be able to compete with these savages out there that decided to lean in and to get after it every day. They will eat you up, right? And so just get it over with, right? Or stop complaining and figure out what you need to do to solve your problem, right? In the way that I like to look at it, because I like to always give advice. I don't normally do a lot of these like mindset type of videos because there's enough people out there doing them, right? Uh, I like to do tactical videos to give you the tools that you need to be successful under the assumption that you already have the mindset of a winner, right? The mindset of a high performer. Certainly, if you work with me, you probably do because I try not to enroll anybody that I think doesn't have that mindset because it's going to make my life a living hell. Like trying to motivate you to build your business. I like to work with motivated individuals that just need the tools. So a lot of my videos revolve around what are those tools? What are those tactics? What are those strategies that they can apply to their business and immediately see that success, right? Every now and then people go in and out of motivation and I try to kick them into gear, right? But usually if you find yourself wanting to quit, it is because you have a lack of either skills, a lack of the character traits required to be able to apply those skills to your business, right? Or you simply just don't have the beliefs, right? The belief system that it's even possible, right? And so the cool thing is that all of those are under your control, right? All of those things are, you have the ability to learn new skills, right? And with those new skills applied to your business may fix your problem. You have the ability to develop character traits, right? It's pretty hard to have a successful business if you sleep until 10 a.m. every day, right? It's probably easier if you wake up earlier and do more things, right? It requires discipline. It requires sacrifice. But that is the level that you need to take it to in the game that you've already selected to play. You decided to be an entrepreneur. You opened a business. You've made that decision, right? There's no going back, right? So you can either lean in and do the best job, the best damn job that you possibly can, and acquire those skills, develop those character traits, break beliefs, right? Break beliefs around what is possible. If you see people around you that are doing the things that you think are not possible, right, then maybe it's time to question what you believe is possible, right? Because you may be just selling yourself short. If you're like, hey, this can't be done like this, right? I can't do this, right? My area doesn't allow for this. My circumstances are different. Those are all beliefs that you hold to be true, right? And usually they're not. Usually they are not true, right? And so I wanted to make a video, and I'm not going to go on a long tangent about this because I don't think that the majority of the people watching this need it, right? I think that it is maybe something that if you find yourself needing a kick in the ass, just remember that you don't have to be an entrepreneur. You don't have to be a business owner. You chose to, right? Nobody did this to you, right? You're not a victim, right? You have control over everything in your world. And so either decide to be motivated, stop feeling sorry for yourself, right? And to do the things necessary, or just quit playing this game and go play a different game that's more suited for how you want to go through life, right? Because this is going to be hard, and you should know that, right? And it's why people quit. It's why so many businesses don't succeed. It's not because the fundamental model of the business is not sound. It's because it's taxing on the entrepreneur, right? And I think that largely business, at least the path to going from opening a business to having a successful business, is the game of, can I endure long enough until I figure shit out, right? Because it is a constant test. See the results of that test. Was it effective? Was it not effective? And then try again across so many different aspects of business, right? Can you make it through all of those series of tests until you have all of your answers and all of it's working before the game beats you down into submission, right? Can you do that? To me, that is the art of business, right? And so usually it starts with fulfillment for a lot of us. How do we train people effectively? Then it might go into lead generation, lead nurture, sales, fulfillment. All of these things, you're likely not going to get it perfect on your first try, on your first test, right? So you have to expect to fail, right? Expect that things aren't going to work your first try, right? If you go into it with the expectations that everything you do is going to be successful the first try, guys, that's unreasonable, right? And so now you're playing a game with an unreasonable expectation of the outcome, right? And so every single time you fail, you're going to be disappointed instead of expecting it, right? And so if you expect to fail and you expect to try something new until you get it correct, well, then you can play the game much longer because you're not having this emotional reaction to every single time you have a setback, right? And so can you go through those loops, all of them required, which we don't know how many there are, until eventually you are content with the result of each of your tests, meaning that it was successful. And if you are successful across enough aspects of your business, you can look back and say, hey, this business was worth it, right? Because usually the result of that success would be you're making good profit, your team's doing the majority of the work, if not all of it. Your clients are very fulfilled. You're fulfilled. That is the reason why we got into this game to begin with, is for freedom, right? For freedom of time, of money, of location, of doing what we want to do versus what we have to do. Most people don't have that. Most people will never have that level of freedom, right? And we are pursuing it. It's not guaranteed, right? We are pursuing it because the outcome could be absolutely life changing and amazing. But that's a hard game. And it always has been and it always will be, right? So make the decision. Lean in, acquire the skills, beliefs, and character traits that you need to be successful, or just quit, right? And sometimes it sounds a little bit harsh, but that's the reality of it, guys, right? So anyways, appreciate you watching this. Appreciate you tuning in. I've just talked to a lot of gym owners, almost exclusively, like, coming to me to inquire about what we do at FitBiz, our services, how I coach people. Man, so many are beat down. Just beat down from COVID, beat down from the industry, beat down from trying other programs that didn't work. And we're almost looking for me to convince them to continue being a gym owner. And I'm not here to convince anybody of anything, right? If you don't want to be in this game, then get out, right? Because there's plenty of people that do and love just competing, right? And so you have to make that decision for yourself. And if you want to compete, if you do want to kick ass in this business and in this fitness industry, there's people out there that'll help you accelerate that progress like crazy, right? But don't let somebody else need to convince you to get up and get after it every day and have that winner high performance mindset. That's on you. So appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching today. And I will be back tomorrow with some more